Good morning. This is Kent Blaylock with SDG Replays coming to you on this Sunday morning. And it's time again for some Sunday morning baseball. I hope you're ready to join me this morning as we're going to continue in my replay of the 1956 baseball season, the Major League Baseball season, featuring various teams that want to usually pick teams that are pretty close in the standings, and that's what we're going to do today. So we're about 25 games into the season. Today's matchup, we're going to find the New York Yankees at 15-10, visiting Cleveland for a matchup against the Cleveland Indians, who are 14-9. So very closely matched up. And so we want to get into this morning as we get into some Sunday morning baseball. This game is a game that's from May 14th, 1956. And let's get into it. As we move over to the field. So welcome to Cleveland Stadium for tonight's game between the New York Yankees and the Cleveland Indians. Johnny Kucks will start for New York. He's made 4 starts on the year and is 2-1 with an ERA of 5.68. This is his second start against Cleveland. He'll be opposed by Bob Lemon for Cleveland. He's made 5 starts on the year and is 1-2 with an ERA of 2.31. His second start against New York, it's 70 degrees, wind speed 1 miles per hour in from right field. So weather probably not going to have an effect on this game. So let's play ball. Let's give the lineup for the New York Yankees, the visiting New York Yankees. Leading off and playing right field, Hank Bauer. In the second spot, playing shortstop, Gil McDougall. Batting in the third spot in center field is Mickey Mantle. And in the cleanup position, catcher Yogi Berra. In the fifth spot, playing first base, Joe Collins. In left field and batting sixth, Elston Howard. In the seventh spot, second baseman, Billy Martin. In the eighth spot, your third baseman, Andy Carey. And batting ninth, pitcher Johnny Kucks. And on the mound for the Cleveland Indians is Bob Lemon. And you'll have to ignore my dogs in the background. I am outdoors enjoying the elements, so they're enjoying it as well. In this replay, Bob Lemon. Hey. In this replay, Bob Lemon is at 2.31 with a 1-2 record with a 1.103 whip. So he must not be getting much run support, as that 1.103 is a pretty good whip for a 1-2 record. So Hank Bauer steps to the plate, batting .234. He does have a 6-game hitting streak, so he steps to the plate as Lemon goes into his windup. Here is the pitch. And Hank Bauer gets a free pass as he walks the leadoff hitter on a full count, but it was up and away and base on balls as Bauer on first as Gil McDougall comes to play, batting .293 with 4 home runs and 10 RBIs. McDougall digs in as Lemon eyes Bauer on first, goes into his windup. Here is the pitch. Slow ground ball hit to short. Chico Carrasqual up with it. Gets the lead runner Bauer, but McDougall will be safe at first as they cannot turn 2. And that'll bring Mickey Mantle to the plate, who's batting .311 with 6 home runs and 16 RBIs in this replay. In the real, he batted .353. He was the Triple Crown winner for 1956. So Mantle stepping in. And Carrasqual going back to his position. McDougall takes a slight lead off first. Lemon goes into the windup and the pitch. And That's the second walk he's issued. Lemon having control issues here in the first inning as he's walked 2 batters. He's got runners now on first and second, with Yogi Berra coming to the plate with a hot bat, batting .340 with 5 home runs and 26 RBIs. Here's the pitch from Lemon in a little tight spot here as he brings the pitch. Berra hits it slowly to Avila at second, and he will get Berra at first, but the runners were moved up. So we have runners in scoring position on second and third with 2 outs, and Joe Collins coming to the plate, batting .194 with 3 home runs and 9 RBIs. So Lemon in a little tight spot here early in the first inning. Can he pitch himself out of it as Joe Collins steps in? Here is the pitch from Lemon, and it's a ground ball hit toward Wirtz at first, and it looks like it might bound foul ball and out of play. So Collins trots back to the batter's box as Lemon looks at McDougal and Mantled in scoring position. Here is the pitch from Lemon to Collins. Collins swings away, lifts one into right field. Smith moving over under it, and it looks like it's going to be an easy play for Smith. And so with 2 runners left on, so no runs, no hits, and no errors, we go to the bottom of the first, scoreless. And coming to the plate and the lineup for the Indians, leading off is Busby in center field. Avila at second base is batting second. Al Rosen at third base is batting third. Vic Wirtz, first baseman, batting fourth. Smith in right field is batting fifth. Rocky Colavito in left field is batting sixth. Chico Carrasqual, the shortstop's batting in the 7th spot. I believe it's Joe Hagan, the catcher, is batting 8th, and then your pitcher Bob Lemon batting in the 9th spot. Leading off is Jim Busby. On the mound is Johnny Kucks. In this replay, not doing too well ERA-wise with 5.68, but he does have a 2-1 record, but with a 1.421 whip. As Jim Busby comes to the plate, batting .225 with no home runs and 6 RBIs in this replay. Kucks goes into the windup, and the pitch grounded back to Kucks. No, not grounded. It hits a rope back to the pitcher. Kucks makes a leaping grab for out number 1. A great play made by the pitcher, Kucks, as Bobby Avila steps back to the plate, batting .219 with 1 home run and 11 RBIs. Kucks into the windup. The pitch, Avila lifts one into right center field. Bauer moving over toward it. Mantle as well. Mantle settles underneath it. Can of corn for out number 2. Took him back to the track, but he's waiting for it. Makes the catch for out number 2. Now to bring up Al Rosen. Al Rosen batting .253 with a home run and 12 RBIs. 2 down here in the bottom of the first. Here's the pitch from Kucks. Another ball lifted into right field. Hank Bauer coming up, hit shallow right. Easy play for Bauer. 3 up and 3 down, and we go to the second, scoreless here in Cleveland. And Elston Howard coming to the plate. Lemon looks at Howard, who's batting .185 with no home runs and 7 RBIs. Howard steps in. Lemon into the stretch, and the pitch. Ground ball to Wirtz at first. Wirtz fields it, steps on the bag for the 3 unassisted for out number 1. And that'll bring up Billy Martin. Billy Martin swinging a pretty good bat here in the replay. In the real, he batted .264. In this replay, he's batting .323 with 2 home runs and 10 RBIs. So here comes the pitch from Lemon as Martin steps in. Grounded back to Lemon. Gets past Lemon to the shortstop Carrasqual. Fires it over to first for the 6-3 putout, and out, number 2. And that's going to bring up Andy Carey, third baseman, batting 171 with 3 RBIs in this replay. Lemon into the stretch, the windup, the pitch. Ground ball hit to Avila at second, fields it easily, up with it over to first for the 4-3 putout. 3 up and 3 down, and we go to the bottom of the second, still scoreless here in Cleveland. Later, man. Yeah. Yeah, the keys are laying in there. Yeah. Just look around. They're either on the table or on the counter. I may have hung them up. Excuse me. Someone needing to move a car. So Wirtz to the plate, batting 244 with 8 home runs and 23 RBIs as we start this bottom of the second. Here is the pitch. Ground ball hit to Martin at second. Up with it. Great play made by Martin, 4-3 putout, as he stabs it and makes a great play on that. And that'll bring up Al Smith. Al Smith batting 281 with 2 home runs and 14 RBIs. Here is the pitch. Ground ball to McDougal. Shortstop fields it over to first for the 6-3 putout. 2 up and 2 down. And Rocky Colavito coming to the plate. Colavito's batting above his average in this replay, batting .316 with 3 home runs and 8 RBIs. Colavito hoping to get a 2-out rally going as Kucks goes into his windup and pitch. Ground ball hit back to McDougal over the bag. Fires it over to Collins at first for the 6-3 putout. And we go to the third, scoreless here, hitless here in Cleveland as Johnny Kucks, the pitcher, comes to the plate. Bob Lemon into his windup and the pitch. And did he hit his counterpart? Lemon having control issues in this game. As he does, he hits Kucks in the midsection. So Kucks is on, hit by pitch. And that brings Bauer back to the plate. Bauer walked his first time up. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to Avila at second. Can they turn 2? Over to Carrasqual. They cannot as Bauer quickly down first. No throw at first. And 1 out, 1 on. And Gil McDougal coming to the plate. Grounded to shortest first time up. Here's the pitch to McDougal. Ground ball to Carrasqual at short. Fires it over to Avila. And they get the lead runner Bauer, but cannot turn 2 as Mickey Mantle comes to the plate with 2 outs, 1 on. And Mantle steps in, the dangerous Mantle, 6 home runs and 16 RBIs. Here is the pitch. Ground ball hit to Wirtz. Slow bounding ball. Wirtz gets it. Steps on the bag for the 3 unassisted. And we go to the bottom of the third. Still scoreless and still hitless here in Cleveland as Chico Carrasqual comes to the plate. Batting .280 with a home run and 6 RBIs as Kucks goes into his windup and the pitch. Carrasqual digging in. Ground ball hit to short. McDougal over the second bag and over to first for the 6-3 putout. And out number 1. Have a pitcher's battle going on here as Jim Hegan, the catcher. I said Joe Hegan. It's Jim Hegan. Batting .229 with 3 home runs and 12 RBIs. Hegan steps in. Here's the pitch from Kucks. Ground ball. Kucks fields it over to first for the 1-3 putout. And that'll bring up the pitcher Bob Lemon, who bats .154 with 3 RBIs. Facing his counterpart, I wonder if Kucks remembers his at-bat getting plunked in the side. He brings the pitch. He does not. Ground ball to first. Collins up with it easily. 3 unassisted. 3 up and 3 down. And we go to the fourth, scoreless here in Cleveland. A pitcher's duel going on right now. Yogi Berra is going to see if he can put an end to that. Batting .337 with 5 home runs and 25 RBIs. He grounded to second his last time up. Here's the pitch to Yogi Berra. Ground ball hit sharply through short, and Carrascal made a poor play on it, broke poorly, and it's a base hit, our first hit of the game, as Yogi Berra stands safely on first, and Joe Collins coming to the plate. Flied out to shallow right his first time up. Here is the pitch from Lemon. He laid down the bunt. It was a good bunt, but not good enough as they get Berra at second. So the sacrifice bunt does not work. Collins will be on, but he is safely on at first. As Elston Howard comes to plate, grounded to first his first time up. I think I will bring the corners in in case Howard tries to bunt. Here comes the pitch from Lemon. Howard, ground ball to short. Carrascal with it, fires it over to first. Collins will be moved over. So a runner in scoring position, but we do have 2 outs for Billy Martin. Martin grounded to short his last time up as Collins takes a slight lead off second. Here's the pitch to Martin. Ground ball to short. Carrascal up with it. Fires to first. Martin's barreling down the pass, but they get him by a couple steps for the 3rd out. So no runs on 1 hit, no errors. And we go to the bottom of the 4th, still scoreless here in Cleveland. And Jim Busby, the center fielder, stepping to the plate. He lined out to the pitcher his last time up. Johnny Kucks into the windup, and the pitch. Ground ball hit toward McDougal at short. McDougal up with it, fires it to first for the 6-3 putout, and out number 1. That'll bring up Bobby Avila, batting .216 with a home run and 11 RBIs, and he flied to deep right center his first time up. Avila hoping to get a little more carry on the ball this time as Kucks goes into the windup, and the pitch. Ground ball hit toward McDougal as he moves toward second, up with it over to first for another 6-3 putout, and out number 2. And that's going to bring up Al Rosen to the plate. Rosen flied to right his last time up. Kucks into the windup. Rosen digs in, hits the ball, lifts it into center field. Mantle tracking back. It is hit deep. It is hit high, but not deep enough as he takes Mantle to the warning track. But it's just a long out for out number 3. So no runs, no hits, and no errors. And we go to the 5th, still scoreless here in Cleveland. As Andy Carey steps to the plate. Carey grounded to second his last time up. Lemon toes the rubber and goes into the pitch. Ground ball hit toward Avila at second. Avila up with it, fires it to first for the 4-3 putout, and out number 1. That brings our pitcher, Johnny Kucks, back to the plate, who got plunked in the side his last time up. See if Lemon can have a little better control this time. Here's the pitch to Kucks. Kucks hits a ground ball to Al Rosen at third. Rosen up with it for the 5-3 putout, and out number 2. 2 up and 2 down. And Hank Bauer coming to the plate. Bauer on the day is 0 for 1, grounded out his last time up and walked his first time up. Here's the pitch from Lemon as Bauer steps in. Here's the pitch. Ground ball, slow ground ball hit toward Avila at second. Avila up with it for the 4-3 putout. And out number 2. 2 up and 2 down. And Vic Wertz coming to the plate. Wertz grounded to second his first time up. Johnny Kucks looking to have another shutdown inning as he pitches to Wertz. Wertz lifts one into center field, shallow center field. Mantle settles underneath it for out number 3. 3 up and 3 down, and we go here to the bottom of the 5th as Al Smith steps to the plate. Can Cleveland get something going as Smith grounded to short his last time up? Here's a pitch from Johnny Kucks. It's a high pop-up. Looks like it's going to be a infield fly as it goes high into the air, and McDougal settles underneath it for a P6 putout, and out number 2. And that brings up Rocky Colavito. Kucks into the windup, and the pitch. Colavito, ground ball to Carey at third. Carey up with it, fires it over to first for the 5-3 putout. And there is a perfect game alert as Kucks is pitching a perfect game so far through 5. We go to the 6, and I think the PC game probably just jinxed Kucks, as Bob Lemon is back on the mound here in the 6th, and Gil McDougal stepping to the plate. McDougal 0 for 2 on the day. Here's the pitch to McDougal. Ground ball hit to short, and we have our first error as Villa boots it. So McDougal safely on first on the E4, and Mickey Mantle stepping to the plate. You don't want to have an error than Mickey Mantle stepping to the plate, as Lemon just shakes his head in disgust, goes into his windup as Mantle digs in. Here's the pitch to the Mick. He lifts one into right field. Does not look like it's deep as Al Smith settles underneath it for out number 1. Fires it quickly back in. Will not move McDougal over as Yogi Berra steps to the plate. Berra 1 for 2 on the day. Yogi grounded a single between third and short his last time up. Lemon with the pitch to Yogi. Yogi hits one into center field. Busby, ranging to his right, settles underneath it for out number 2, and McDougal still held at first, not hit deep enough. So now we have 2 down, and Joe Collins stepping to the plate. He's 0 for 2 on the day. McDougal takes a slight lead. He will be running on contact as Lemon goes into the windup. Here is the pitch. Ground ball hit to Al Rosen at third. Rosen with it, fires over to first for the 5-3 putout, and no runs on no hits, but 1 error. And after 5.5, we go to the bottom of the 6th. Still scoreless here in Cleveland, and Johnny Kucks pitching a perfect game. Can Chico Carrasqual ruin that as he steps in 0 for 1 on the day? Here's the pitch from Kucks. Lifts one into center field. Mickey Mantle running in as it's hitting the shallow center. Mantle, the good fielding Mantle, settles underneath it for out number 1. So 1 down, and Jim Hagan, 0 for 1 on the day, steps to the plate. Here is the pitch. It's hit well into right, but Bowers tracking it well, moving to his left, going toward the line, makes the play for out number 2, and that brings up Bob Lemon, the pitcher, to the plate. Kucks into his windup, and the pitch to Lemon. Ground ball. Kucks moving to cover the bag as Collins makes a play, flips it to Kucks for the 3-1 putout. 3 up and 3 down, and Kucks is still goes to the 7th with a perfect game intact as Elston Howard comes to the plate, and Bob Lemon himself is pitching a 1-hitter. So great game by both. Here is the pitch from Lemon to Elston Howard. Hit sharply through short and third into left field. That's the 2nd hit of the day for the Yankees, as that's Ground ball between third and short. And Billy Martin coming up with Elston Howard on first. Lemon goes into his windup. The pitch as Howard, as Martin lays down the bunt. I should have known that. It will move Howard over. They get Martin at first. And that brings up Andy Carey, third baseman, 0 for 2 on the day, goes into the pitch. Grounded to short. Will be made by Carrasqual. Great play by Carrasqual as he fields that. It holds Howard at second. So they did not move the runner over, as it was a diving stab by Carrasqual. And the throw to first for the 6-3 putout. And that brings up the pitcher, Kucks. Here's the pitch to Kucks. Ground ball to third. Al Rosen charging it. Fields it. Fires it over to first for the 5-3 putout. And no runs on one hit, no errors. And we go to the 7th. Still scoreless here in Cleveland. And Johnny Kucks. We go to the bottom of the 7th with Kucks pitching a perfect game. And Jim Busby, the center fielder, the leadoff man, coming to the plate. Of course, he's 0 for 2 on the day as Kucks goes into the windup. The pitch. Ground ball to Collins, who has to move over towards second. Kucks will cover the bag and for the 3-1 putout and out number 1. That brings up Bobby Avila, batting .214 with a home run, and he, of course, is 0 for 2 on the day. Here's the pitch from Kucks. High fly ball. Mantle moving back. It is deep. Mantle looking at it, and it is gone, and there goes the no-hitter, and there goes the perfect game, and there goes the scoreless game as Kucks' perfect game is ruined by a home run, deep home run, 382 feet over Mantle's head in center field. And that is a tragic way to end a perfect game with a home run by Avila. That brings up Al Rosen as the complexion of this game has changed. Rosen looking to continue. Hits a hard ground ball to third, Carey up with it, fires it over to first for the 5-3 putout. And out number 2. That's going to bring up Vic Wirtz to the plate. Wirtz 0 for 2 on the day. Kucks into his windup and the pitch. And Kucks now a little shaken up from that home run, gives Wirtz a free pass as Al Smith comes to the plate. Batting .273 is Smith. Here is the pitch from Johnny Kucks. And back-to-back walks issued by Johnny Kucks. So runners on first and second for Rocky Colavito. Rocky Colavito batting .300 on the season. Here is the pitch as Colavito digs in. Hard fly ball hit to center field. It is deep and it is gone. 2 home runs in this inning as Rocky Colavito drives in 2, including himself, and all of a sudden this is a 4-run inning on a pitcher who had a perfect game going, and that perfect game has been shot as Chico Carrasqual high-fiving his fellow Indians as they cross the plate and head to the dugout. Here is Carrasqual, 0 for 2 on the day. Here's a pitch from Kucks. Ground ball to Martin, ranging over towards second, fires it over to first for the 4-3 putout and out number 3. But we have 4 runs on 2 hits and no errors. 2 home runs in this inning crushed that perfect game by Johnny Kucks. Bob Lemon feeling a little better about his game now as he faces Hank Bauer, who's 0 for 2 on the day. Here's the pitch from Lemon. And Lemon lifts one into left field, and it's hit high and it's hit deep. And we're now seeing the ball carrying out of here as Hank Bauer steps in and says, if it's time to hit home runs, I'm going to join the party, as it's now 4-1 as Hank Bauer lifts one 330 feet into the left field seats. And Lemon throws the rosin bag down in disgust as he looks at Gil McDougald, who steps to the plate. Here's the pitch from Lemon. And it's another one that's hit hard and it's hit high. And is this back-to-back home runs for, it's off the wall in left field. So they seem to be getting the number on Lemon. Let's see how he does with Mantle with a runner on second, no outs. Here's the pitch to Mickey Mantle. Ground ball hit to Avila. That will move McDougald over, but they get Mantle at first on the 4-3 putout. But we have a runner in scoring position with Yogi Berra coming to the plate. Yogi Berra steps in, Lemon into the windup and the pitch. And it looks like he's hit a base hit into center field, scoring McDougald. And all of a sudden, the runs are pouring in now, as it's now 4-2 here in the 8th. Joe Collins steps in. Here's the pitch. And it's hit to Smith. Line is hit on a rope, but Smith had it played perfectly and makes the catch. So they seem to be getting their timing on Lemon. So let's see if we can get him out of this inning. Here is the pitch to Elston Howard. Ground ball, hit to short. Carrasco with it. Gets the lead runner Berra for out number 3. But it's 2 runs on 3 hits. And we go to the bottom of the 8th with the Indians up 4-2. And Johnny Kucks still on the mound as Jim Hegan steps to the plate. Hegan flied out his last time up. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Here's the pitch from Kucks. It's hit well. Base hit into left center field. Howard moves over, fires it back in, and Lemon's coming to the plate, and we're going to pinch hit for Lemon. And we're going to bring in Hal Narragon to pinch hit. With Hegan on first. Narragon batting .364. In the replay, he's 4 for 11. He batted .287 in the reel. Here's the pitch to Narragon. Hits one sharply at Carey at third. Carey makes the play, fires it back over to second. And they turned 2 on that. They got Hagan playing off the bag. So that was a double play. Great play made by Andy Carey as he fired it over and doubled up. Hagan on first. So Kucks gives a tip of the cap to Andy Carey on third as Jim Busby comes back to the plate. Here's the pitch. Grounded at Collins at first. Collins plays it 3 unassisted. And that will do it for the 8th as we go to the 9th. And I need a pitcher to come in and close this thing out. I need a righty to come in. And it looks like Ray Narleski is going to be my pitcher to come in and try to close this game out. As Billy Martin steps in, Narleski is not doing well on the replay. He's got a 5.06 with a 1.875 whip. Vastly different than in the real. He had a 1.52 in the real with a 9.44 whip. So what has happened to him in this replay? I hope it doesn't happen in this game right now as Martin steps in, 0 for 2 on the day. Narleski into his windup. They bring in pinch hitter for Coleman, bring in the right-handed hitting Jerry Coleman. That makes no sense at all. You would think they would bring in a left-handed hitter. He's batting 125. Let the PC do what the PC has to do. But it works out as he hits a single into left center, shallow left center. Base hit by Coleman as Andy Carey steps up, 0 for 3 on the day. Here's Narleski, eyes Coleman. Do you think they would lay down a bunt here in the ninth? I don't think so. Here is the pitch to Carey. Carey lifts one into center field, right center field. Busby moving over toward it. Should be an easy play for Busby. He makes the catch. Coleman back to first for out number 1. 1 down. Johnny Kucks, I expect, will be pinch hit for, and he will. Bob Serve is now batting for New York. Serve comes in, batting .364 in this replay. Another right-hander, though. Here's the pitch to Serve. Can he keep up the hot hitting? Ground ball to Carrasqual at short. Carrasqual over to Villa. Can they turn 2? Can they end this game? It is a game-ending double play turn by Chico Carrasqual and Bobby Avila for the 6-4-3 double play. And that is our game. What an exciting game here between Cleveland and New York. We had a no-hitter going into the 7th, and then home runs started flying out of Cleveland Stadium. And that is our game. I hope you enjoyed it. As I need to switch screens here. I hope you enjoyed that game. Quite the exciting game between Cleveland and New York. But Cleveland, in the end, came through with the hitting of home runs that they're late in the game. Let's go ahead and take a look at what happened in that game. And for some reason, I do not know why, when I'm looking at that screen is flashing. But I see for you, it is not. So I'll try to read it as I go back over to the game screen. Interesting thing. It's flashing for me, but not for you. Johnny Kucks pitched a great game. He pitched 8 innings, 7 innings, a perfect game. But when he got into that 8th inning, it brought everything crashing down. He allowed 3 hits with 4 runs, all earned, gave up 2 home runs and walked 2. Didn't strike out any. Interesting enough, there were no strikeouts in this game, but very few hits. Only 9 total hits in the game with no strikeouts. So a lot of ground balls, a lot of fly balls. But the hero of the game, let's take a look. In that 7th inning, Rocky Colavito in the 7th with 2 on base hit a 389-foot home run after Avila had hit a 382-footer just prior. So Avila and Colavito both with home runs, and Colavito's a 3-run shot was the deciding factor in this game. New York scored 2 runs on 6 hits and no errors. Cleveland, 4 runs on 3 hits and 1 error. So that is our game from Cleveland, and I hope you enjoyed, as that will do it from here in my backyard in Conover. And I hope, if you're watching, I hope you enjoyed. And that is the game. Have a blessed Sunday. Soli Deo Gloria.